Hi, welcome to Pilates for hip mobility. We're going to be working through the whole kinetic chain, mobilizing through the hips, looking to strengthen areas of the hips that really need a little bit more TLC. We sit in such flexed positions all the time, so they're always pretty much like this, shortening through the hip flexors, squashing down through our glutes. So let's work on strengthening the hip flexors, lengthening them, and look at strengthening the glutes and making the hips work in the whole many planes that they need to be working in. So what do you say? Shall we get started? All right, so we're going to start with our feet underneath our hips in our neutral position. So we're going to get into our neutral position right now. Find your hip bones, take a look down, make sure your knees and your ankles are underneath and big toes looking forward. So we're not standing too central and we're not standing too wide either. From here, let's have a little bend in the knees, wrap the hands around the pelvis and rock the pelvis forward and back. So as we do so, we're going to start looking into our breathing, exhaling as we pull the pelvis in into a posterior tilt, inhale into an anterior, exhale, inhale. So what we're doing there as we exhale, we naturally get that pelvic floor contraction, the diaphragm contracts, and we get the natural contraction of the corset effect around our midsection. So we use that to our advantage. As we exhale, we execute our exertion. As we inhale, we can relax. So exhale, inhale. Feel the natural contraction of the abdominals as we go. This is going to help us get into our neutral and in our optimal position. So from here, wrap the hands around the bottom of the rib cage, circle the pelvis one way, then the other. Aim here is to keep the pelvis still and mobilize the spine and the hips coming out of the rib cage. It also works into the knees as well. All the way through this, the toes are going to stay on the floor, big toes especially. All right, one more time each way. At this point, lengthen out through the legs. Into neutral, all 3 points of the pelvis look forward. And we shoulder roll up, back and down, open up the chest and lift your gaze so it's just above the horizon into our neutral. Rather than being here, we're in our neutral here. Take a breath in, lift, and exhale, open out through the chest. Don't be afraid to really pull the shoulder blades together and open up. Just be mindful that we don't end up jutting the head forward. We're lifting up, opening up the chest, having our gaze, as I say, just above your horizon. One more here. Coming into lateral flexion, drop down either side. Again, keep the feet pinned to the floor. Big toes, heels. Often, particularly if we hip hitch, we might lift the inside of the foot off the floor because we're just so used to doing it. It could be an indicator of a weaker side, weaker through the glutes, through the obliques, bit of tightness through the obliques, multiple different things. So just be mindful of keeping the toes down. Let's push a little bit more into this. Reach up, over the head. Pause for that moment, get to the end of the stretch and then come straight back out. So we're warming through, looking up towards the ceiling as we reach the arm up and over. One more time each side. So we're going to come into rotations again, neutral, open and close through the chest. Exhale and inhale it in. So we're just throwing the arm at the moment. Palm is loose. Enjoy the movement. Just think about, is there any restrictions anywhere through the chest? All right, one more here. Take a big breath in. Reach the arms all the way up. Look up. Circle the arms down. Drop the head around the shoulders and roll down. Feet still directly underneath the hips. Nose looking towards your spine. Dropping all the way down. Unraveling each vertebra one at a time. Keeping the weight evenly distributed between the left and the right of the legs. Bending the knees when necessary. Again, bending the knees when necessary. Roll up through the spine, keeping the legs symmetrical. Into neutral, all 3 points of the pelvis look forward, open up through the chest, lift your gaze, reach all the way up, and then circle back down. Same again. Just let your arms dangle, let your head fall down. Feel that through the spine, backs of the legs, then roll back up. Pelvis into neutral, open through the chest, and lift. So I'd like you to just get used to coming from this forward flexed position and then bringing yourself out of it into neutral spine. Because it's so advantageous if you can recognise what neutral spine is and get your pelvis into a good position. That's really going to enhance posture, core strength, and help with our daily activities. Right, one more, reach all the way up again. And exhale. So we're going to tap one leg forward to the side, back, lift and lower. Starting with circumduction through the pelvis, through the hips. Big toes stay down. So in particular, as we are tapping round, that big toe of the other leg is pinned to the floor. We want to take it up a little bit. Semicircle, lift and lower. Really advantageous to do this whilst looking in a mirror so you can see your form. Lifting up through the chest, looking up, lifting your gaze above your horizon. So again, we are not looking down, we're lifting up. We don't need to see what's going on down here, we can feel what's going on. One more. Now let's add in an easy squat, feet underneath the hips, big toes down, heels down. Let's go again. Semicircle lift and lower. Same again the other side, so really working through the hips, warming them up, warming the glutes, all the muscles that have an impact on the movement of the pelvis, of the hips, that help with posture, that help with strength. We are working into them now. Don't worry about what to do with your arms. So long as your hands aren't on here, you're not pushing out, you can have your arms wherever you like. Lift and lower. Alright, so we're going to have a little change. So we're going to lift, open and close the knee. Same again the other side. Semicircle. Now you take your time. If I'm going a little bit too fast, you can slow down. Just so long as you are following the sequence, you take your time. Open, close and lower. Think about the placement of your foot when we come down. And one squat. Okay, a little change coming up. You can stick with what we've just been doing or you can progress. Lift, open, place the foot down so we're on a 90-degree angle, then squat and bring it in. Same again the other side, semicircle, lift, open the knee, place the foot down and squat. So we've got a bigger opening for our squat. More work through the pelvis. Hopefully a deeper range of movement getting into your squat. Squats are brilliant. So one of the most functional exercises we can do. We do it every day, day in, day out. We do multiple squats a day. So actually, working on our form, working on our range, is hugely beneficial. Heart rate's coming up as well, I hope. Semicircle lift, open, take it down. Wonderful. One more time. Good stuff. Right, come to the back of your mat. Throw the arms. Now we're going to be coming down. Feeling warmer. Legs working. Check, check, check. Inhale, take a big breath in, lift. Pelvis in neutral. Reach the arms over your head. Exhale, drop the head around the shoulders. Roll down. Walk forward into our down dog, upside down V position. Let's have a few pedal pushes here. Feet are still hip distance. As we do the pedal pushes, big toe stays on the floor and we push some weight through there. Big exhale, drag deeper into down dog. Onto all fours. Tops of the feet on the floor, arch out through the back and sit back into child's pose. Tuck your chin. Have a moment, have a breath. Relax through the hands, through the wrists. And then bring the hands back to the floor. So hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips in our 4-point kneeling position. Just be mindful the arching doesn't start happening or the arching away. We want that lengthening through the spine. Lengthen your neck away from your shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. So we're going to go one leg at a time. So we circle the leg out one way, circle it back. then the other side. Circle out and round, circle in. Do that again. So I'll show you this from the front view so you can see a little bit better. So take the leg out to the side, circle up to the ceiling, and then bring down, circle up to the ceiling, out to the side and down. So great as well for obliques, pelvic stability, all that juicy stuff. Right, so we're going to have a little change come in. So we circle one way, circle the other way, but then that same leg and opposite arm extend. Then bring it back in. Same again the other side. Circle out and round, other way, and then extend. Bring it down. So hip circle one way, reverse, extend the arm and opposite leg, then bring it down. Wonderful. So we're creating a lot of core stability here, pelvic movement, mobility, flexibility, which is great. One more time through. So one more time each side before we have another little change. How's that feeling? Still loading up through the shoulders, pressing forward. Wonderful. Arch out through the back and have a sit. Back into child's pose. Ease off through the back. Then we come back up into all fours, 4-point kneeling, hands under the shoulders again, knees underneath the hips. Get that bracing in the abdominals. Pelvic floor pull and exhale, really establish that deep core connection. So opposite arm to leg, bring the elbow and knee to meet each other underneath the torso, then re-extend. But then the leg comes to the same elbow, re-extend and down. So that from the front. Same again. So opposite arm to leg. Elbow meets knee underneath the torso. Re-extend. And then the knee comes to the same side. Elbow. And back again. Opposite arm to leg. Elbow meets knee underneath the torso. Re-extend. Keep the arm extended. Bring the knee to the same side. Elbow and down. Now the leg that's actually on the floor, particularly as we bring the knee to the same side elbow, press that shin and foot into the floor. Get that connection, get that feedback. That's going to create more stability through your pelvis and it's going to give you a greater sense of balance. So we are fluid in our movements, strong in our movements, confident in our execution of the movement. Using the breath, as long as we're not holding our breath at this point in time. Fantastic. Alright, we're going to have a little change. Opposite arm to leg, knee meets elbow underneath. Re-extend, the hand comes down, then the leg comes forward, and we drive into a hip flexor stretch. Bring it back. Same again the other side, opposite arm to leg. Elbow meets knee underneath the torso. Re-extend. Hand comes down and then bring the foot to the outside of the same hand from the front. Opposite arm to leg. Elbow meets knee. Re-extend. Hand comes down. Bring the leg out and bring the foot to the outside of the same hand. Drive in. Then come back out. One more time. Well, do it one more time here and then we'll do one more time each side for our last time through. We can move on and do some other yummy stuff. We exhale, arch the back, reach back out, hand comes down into our stretch. One more time on the other side. Great. And then final time, sit back into child's pose. We are done with our 4-point kneeling part. reach the arms forward, draw your head along the mat, pass the hands onto your front, and then roll on to your left side. Extend your left arm. So now we are lying down on the ground. So option one we'll always start with. As we exhale and use the deep abdominal connection, we have the sensation of lifting the obliques off the floor here. So we're not hip hitching, we're trying to have the hips stacked, the knees stacked rather than stacked, so the knees stacked and the feet stacked as well. Right hand can be on the floor. So we're going to do clam, reverse, we're going to do 4 in total. Extend the legs, so the big toes are in kissing distance. This is where the hand below can give you that balance. Slide the foot on the inside, so we're opening up out through the hip. Extend, flex, bring it down, bring it back up, point, bend the knee, and slide back down. Rebend the knee, same again. So we're doing external and internal rotation through the pelvis in our clams, extend out. Slide along the inside of the bottom leg without actually touching it, extend. Dorsiflex the foot, keep it lengthened, squeeze the quad as you do. Lift, bend, bring it down, knees come up. So we go again. Re-extend. So you can stay with this option after this one, or you can progress with me if you wish. So here we go, this is the one we're progressing. So we do 4 here. Controlled, extend, drive in, extend, bring it down. Same again, lift, bend the knees, then press into the right hand, bring the left hand to meet it, making a W with the thumbs, open up, shoulder back, knees are stacked, and we drive pelvis forward into side plank. Come back down, re-extend, and go again. So our 4 clams, internal, external rotation, extend. Doesn't this feel good now? Are your hips nice and warm? They should be. So we bend, we come up, make the W, open up through the chest, shoulder back of the left, drive up into our side plank. And we go again. Great for the hips. Creating that stability through the pelvis, all the way through up. If you want a little bit more, we can go for a little bit more. So we come up, we thread the needle, rotation through the torso, and then back down, go again. And how do your hips feel at the moment? It's starting to feel a bit stronger, a bit looser. And bend and come up. Down. Right, one more time through. Still maintain that deep abdominal connection. We still want that going on there. We still need that support. So that is the foundation of everything we can do. Everything goes through the pelvis. Fantastic. Keep your knees over to the left, open up and hold. Feel that stretch through your waist, go back, and just enjoy. Then pull the knees and go over onto our back. Again, a few pelvic tilts here just to make sure we're getting the pelvis into neutral, and a few lateral tilts. So we're shuffling up and down. And then as we exhale, all 3 points of the pelvis looking up, we've got that abdominal connection going on as well. Feet are a comfortable distance from the glutes, and the knees are hip distance, arms down. As we exhale, we roll, articulate through the spine, rolling up into shoulder bridge. Open and close the knees twice, and then roll back down. Extend both legs and press the right leg into the ground. Lift the left, arms go wide. Circle the leg one way, circle the other. Drop the leg down slowly. Exhale, press the left leg down, lift the right. Circle one way, circle the other way. Bring it down. Bring the both knees back in and come back up into shoulder bridge. Strengthening through the glutes, hamstrings, and again that's going to support the pelvis. Extend out, arms go wide. Press the right leg into the floor and lift the left. Circle one way, without lifting the glutes off the floor. Circle the other. Bring it down. Exhale to lift. Circle one way and circle the other way. Granted, the circles might not be quite so symmetrical on both sides, but we do what we can. Up. So drive the pelvis up into the air. Hamstrings, glutes, like you're trying to pull them closer to your calves as well. Two open, close. So here is another option. We lift, circle the leg one way, then the other. Make it a bit bigger to make it a little bit tougher. From here, pin your shoulders down, exhale, swap the legs in midair. Circle one way, circle the other way. Again, swap the legs in midair, then bring the leg down. Bend the knees, back up into shoulder bridge, all the way up. Drive the heels into the floor, open and close twice. Roll down. So again, great for the pelvis. Press one leg down, circle one way, circle the other way. Pin your shoulders to the ground, palms are up to the ceiling. Switch legs. Notice any tension in the hamstrings. If you need to bend your knee, we try to refrain from bending the knee so that we can get more of a stretch through the hamstrings, because they have an impact obviously on the pelvis with them being attached to, or the origin point, the sit bones, the ischial tuberosities. Roll down. A couple more times through on this one. Whichever version you want to do, keep the pelvis stable. We're thinking about moving the femur within that hip socket, as opposed to rotating through the spine and lifting up. All right, one more time through. And then we get to go onto the other side. Roll down. Last time through. Take your time, enjoy it. Think about the differences in the pelvis. Think about what one side feels like compared to the other side. Swap. And then bend the knees. Pull the knees in, have a little rock and roll. And then you can either roll straight over onto your right side, or if like me, I'm going to roll up, swivel round, and roll all the way back down. Take a full body stretch. And over we go onto the right side. Knees bent. Again, knees are stacked rather than stepped. Hips are stacked. As we exhale, we get that connection in the lower abdominals, deep abdominals, to lift the obliques away from the floor. So we do our internal external rotation of the hip. Extend. Slide up the bottom leg. Dorsiflex at the top. Keep the legs straight. Squeeze the quad as you do. There might be a sticking point where your quad wants to disengage and your knee wants to bend. I want you to really focus on that not happening. Pay attention to it. Really feel what's going on. Slide in. All the way down. Fantastic. And just again, pay attention to what this feels like on this side compared to the other side. Is it easier? Is it harder? Can you balance more? Can you balance less? Do you feel that your hip is stronger on this side, but the balance isn't quite as good? Right, one more time through before we progress a little bit more. Feel that lengthening from the hip away from the rib cage. Okay, so you can either continue with that sequence or you can progress with me on this next one. So we extend, slide along the inside of the leg, lift, lower down, reverse that, bend the knees, press into the left hand, make the right hand come to meet it, open up through the chest, feet as close to the bum as possible, all the way up into our side plank. Come back down. Same again. So we've got our internal external rotation clams. We have our abduction with the leg slide. We then come up into our side plank. Strong, powerful, driving the pelvis in, just like in shoulder bridge. We drive the pelvis forward, get the glutes engaged, the hamstrings engaged. This is why we need the knees bent at that point, to get the hamstrings engaged and to provide more support as we come up. Okay, so this is the one now. If you want to progress a little further with me, you are very welcome to do so. So we come up, we thread the needle, come back up and then come back down. We're going to do this twice more through. So whichever version you want to go for, it is entirely up to you. Make it challenging for yourself. Listen to your body. We don't want to be gurning and straining. We want to be enjoying the movement but find it challenging as well. All right, one more time through, last one. Hips feeling rather warm now, is that right? Yes. Just the way we like it. We come all the way up, one last time. Thread the needle. All the way back down. Keep the knees over to the right and open up your left arm. Open up your chest to the ceiling. Feel that relaxing through your hips, through your waist. 2 deep breaths. Keeping the knees bent. Roll over onto your back. Pull the knees in. And then take a full body stretch. Bring the soles of the feet together and open up your hips. You can bring your arms wherever you like, either on your belly or by your sides or over your head. And take a deep breath in. And a long, slow breath out. As you continue to take deep breaths in, long, slow breaths out. You allow your face to become expressionless. Your jaw to unclench. Your shoulders to drop. And that dropping sensation all the way down your arms through to the tips of the fingers. Feel that softness wash over your torso, through your pelvis. And feel it flow down the legs and out through the toes. Allowing yourself just a few moments of breathing. And closing your mind off to the rest of the world. Bringing your mind's focus to your body, to your breath. We don't need to think about the rest of the world right now. How your body feels and your breath. Breathing deeply in and slowly out. Breathing deeply in and slowly out. Arms out to the side, arms to the ceiling, and we drop the knees side to side, easing your lower back, your waist. Before dropping over to one side, bringing the other arm over, bringing yourself up to a seated position with partially crossed legs. We reach up over the head, reminding ourselves what the spine can do, how we're able to move. We come into rotations, holding hand to the opposite knee, leading with the nose. And bringing the hands forward, coming onto all fours, rolling through the spine. Arching out through the back, tucking your toes, coming up into down dog. Have a walk in down dog. Just remind ourselves to get the ankles moving, the calves, knees, hips. Big exhale, drive down into down dog. We walk the hands in towards the feet, thinking about getting the feet again underneath the pelvis. Knees looking forward, not inwards. Dropping the chest down, and then in your own time, head down, rolling up through your spine, vertebra by vertebra, one at a time. Use that pelvis into neutral, 3 points look forward, chest open, look up, take a breath in, open the chest, exhale, spread the feet, throw the arms. Breath in, exhale down, inhale up, and again. One more time, hold at the top, drive the pelvis into neutral, open the chest, lift your gaze to just above your horizon, and give yourself a little round of applause. Thank you very much for joining me for that session. I hope your hips feel lovely and loose after that. You have a wonderful day. Hit me up with a comment, let me know how you got on with that workout. Have a great day, take care, and I'll see you for the next one.